Welcome to the desk on Global Television, reaching you live and direct from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria. On the desk today, we'll be looking at 2027 politics, and we will be mirroring the activities of the Labour Party in Nigeria. And we will be speaking with the immediate past president of the national youth leader of the Labour Party is going to be with us on the program today as we look at the activities of the Labour Party. For every political party, there is this belief that we have people who have different interests, and if the interest is different for every political party, then it means that there can't be unity. But then, why do we have factions or people dissatisfied in political parties? We've had a lot of defections, not just in the Labour Party alone, but other parties too, including the NNPP, including the People's Democratic Party. And of course, defections are still going on. Do you think there are roles that leaders can actually play to forestall this situation, to make sure there is no more defection for people who are dissatisfied in particular parties? But then some persons might be of the school of thought that whether you like it or not is part of the system, and that's why it is a politics that whatever happens, some people may not be in tune with one or two things in the political party, and that could actually lead to the defection of people in that political party. But then, what role do you think a youth leader can play to sustain the integrity, the aspiration of a political party? Most times, people believe that the youths have major role to play when it comes to party politics. But then, when there are intra-party crises or inter-party crises, whichever way, there's bound to be problem, especially when it is intra-fight within the party, not an opposition party or other parties fighting or combating a particular party because they are doing well, like we have the All Progressive Congress APC right now as the ruling party. A lot of other parties may want to stand as oppositions. But then, what role do you think youths can play in such opposition, in giving a particular party a run for their money? Do youth leaders or maybe youths in a political party have the right or what it takes to settle grievances in a political party, or to ensure there are no aggrieved people in the political party, whether they are stakeholders, whether they are party members, whether they are just well-wishers, whether card-carrying or not card-carrying? It is important to ensure that every member of the political party is standing very well. Today, I will have the immediate past national youth leader join me on the conversation as we look at 2027, of course, politics, and we will be looking at the activities and the positioning of the Labour Party in Nigeria. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, I will tell you who my guest is, and when we return, we'll get into the conversation proper. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll hit the road running.
Disbursing upkeep of 20,000 naira. Know that you cannot talk about a healthy nation if you don't have means to produce your own in addition to importing.
The CG is the principal actor of this because it's within her jurisdiction. Minister is a supervisor.
We must run in accordance with the Constitution of CAN, where you have just a single time.
The human factor, you have the infrastructural factor, then you have the mechanical factors.
The Senate, with all due respect, they were so hasty in passing that judgment.
The statement I'm about to make is we're not even aware.
That is a future.
You have to be aware before you can begin to be prepared.
Dispersing upkeep of 20,000 naira.
Know that you cannot talk about a healthy nation if you don't have means to produce your own in addition to importing.
The CG is the principal actor of this because it's within her jurisdiction. Minister is a supervisor.
We must run in accordance with the Constitution of CAN, where you have just a single time.
The human factor, you have the infrastructural factor, then you have the mechanical factors.
The Senate, with all due respect, they were so hasty in passing.
The statement I'm about to make is what.
Welcome back. It is still the desk on Global Television, and today we're looking at 2027 politics. Well, so many things happening in politics right now, a lot of politicking going on. All is in direction towards 2027. It is no longer news that politicians are already calculating, plotting their graphs towards 2027. Now, we want to mirror some of the parties that actually made a lot of waves in 2023. If you could remember, in 2023 during the presidential election, we have His Excellency Peter Obi, a presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Then, for the People's Democratic Party, we have His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. And we also have for the All Progressive Congress, the now President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in the person of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in 2023. All of these people came with different agendas. All of these people came with different proposals and manifestos to become presidents of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And one of the parties that actually made a lot of wave, even though they were new in politics, the members, people who were part of the party were not really new, but then the Labour Party is not one of the most pronounced and popular parties as at that time until their emergence to contest for the presidential position in 2023, where we have His Excellency Peter Obi as the presidential candidate. Now, walking back memory lane, I've told you what it is. Then fast forward to 2024, where we left to this place. There were a lot of inconsistencies. Despite all what happened in 2023 during the election, Nigerians show what we said we know as support. A lot of Nigerians show support for the presidential candidate. That is one election that I saw Nigerians in the rain casting their vote. It is one election where I saw Nigerians lining up under the sun, under the rain to get their PVC. This is one election where I saw people travel across states to go back to where they got their PVC, their local government, where they registered to cast their vote. But then fast forward to 2025, where we are right now. 2025 is pregnant. A lot of politicking going on. A lot of defections going on. I want to call it exodus of political office holders into a particular political party, which is the All Progressive Congress, the ruling party as at this time. And these people, for instance, in Zamfara State, even though they were moving from PDP to APC, they gave their reasons, looking towards what their dream is as far as politics is concerned. And the same thing is applicable to every other person that has defected from one party, including Labour Party, to another party. Now, let's get to the drawing board and see how it is right now for the Labour Party and other opposition parties. What are we working towards right now for 2025, 2026 and 2027, when the election is going to be happening proper? Is the Labour Party still going to have the kind of followership they had in 2023? All of these questions will be answered on the desk right away as I have my guest join me. My guest is the immediate past national youth leader of the Labour Party in Nigeria, in the person of Comrade Eragbe Anslem is going to be joining us right on the program. It's good to have you join us on the program tonight. All right.
Good afternoon, comrade. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's good to have you join us on the program, comrade. Okay,
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you?
Yes, I can hear you. All right, let's go into the discussion proper now.
Okay,
talking about
thank you. Sorry, I'm on transit at also. How to engage. Okay, comrade.
All right, comrade. Let me ask you the first question right now. You were the immediate past national leader, youth leader of the Labour Party. You were a capacity leader. That your leadership at that time was talked about and was so effective. Now, is the Labour Party still the way you left it?
Okay, thank you, fellow Nigerians. My name is Comrade Eragbe Anslem, the immediate past national youth leader of Labour Party in Nigeria, effective 10th June 2019 to 8th June 2024, upon which our tenure lapsed. And today we have the new leadership with Senator Nenadi Esther Usman leading the PAC as the national chairman and Senator Dalitu Wokucha as the national secretary. Well, the question you asked, thank you first. Let me acknowledge your recognition of my token of efforts with the Labour Party. You just said my leadership was effective. True to it, I think you are right. We did our bit in the circumstances we found ourselves at that time to lay a formidable foundation for the Labour Party. By the grace of God, we are still here, not minding the crisis that erupted, created by Abure when he created the first impression around my personality. But that never bothered me in the least, because what is important to me is service to the nation, service to God, service to humanity, dedication to duty, and commitment to the purpose. What's the issue? Labour Party is a party for the Nigerian workers. The Nigerian workers ideally play a significant role when it comes to productivity and national development. So we began to organize the entire process to mainstream Nigerian workers into the Labour Party fold, because that is their own party naturally. So we did that to a very considerable extent. We created a lot of solutions ahead of the 2023 general election. For instance, under my office, we set up what is today called the Labour Party National Mobilization Platform. That's an ICT solution with 6 portals. Now, that idea was in line with the 2023 INEC election activity procedures, where elections were going to be basically electronic. We saw a situation where the election results were going to be transmitted. So we needed to prepare for that. So we developed that process. That process has 6 portals. Portal 1 registers eligible voters and issues them membership cards with 6 unique identification number system. The first ID on that membership card is what we call the national ID. It isolated members who registered across the entire country with a national ID number. The import of that ID number was to tell us exactly how many people overall were registered, and those people will vote for our presidential candidate. So what we did was we were going to be very specific. We had what's called the state ID. The state ID number was going to tell us how many people in every state, in every local government in the country, across the world. So that for governorship election, we were naturally going to know eligible members who are going to vote for our governorship candidates, those who vote for our senatorial candidate, the House of Reps candidate, and the state assembly members. So now we had what is called the polling unit mobilization. So we put in place a 535,000 polling unit agents, 1 for the presidential candidate, 1 for the senatorial candidate, 1 for the state assembly candidate on the day of the national election, for us to be able to harvest the election result that came from the polling unit, online real time. Now, those results were going to be entered into 2 other ICT solutions. The second one is called the Labour Party Election Manager mobile application, which we developed. So that solution is what we call the situation room. It will account for all the entire electionary processes, security surveillance, mobilization, polling unit agents, election results collation. Then we have the third solution, which is called the election results collation and display window. It is that window ideally that uploads the INEC from EC8A and display it on the window such that we could download and sort. So all of these solutions were fully developed, designed, developed, and funded, but there was a misfortune. When Abure had to raise a false allegation against me deliberately to truncate all of those activities. So now that we are still here, we've never left, we are still here. Thank God we are with the new leadership. So we will continue what we began to do and ensure that as we prepare for the congresses, because the mandate of the transitional government under Senator Nenadi Usman is such that we are going to conduct what's called congresses. Now, it is at the level of the congresses that the world executive structure of the party will be elected. There are 8,815 political wards in Nigeria. So when that process is done, we are going to have a leadership structure across the world. Next, we are going to have what is called conduct the local government congresses. There are 774 local governments in Nigeria. When we do those congresses, we elect the executive council structures of the party at this level. Next, we have what is called the state congresses that will elect the state executive council across 36 states and the FCT. Thereafter, we are going to have what's called the delegates election. So from all of the structures we are elected from the world, local government and states, we are going to elect delegates who will now come to the National Convention, the all-inclusive and expansive National Convention, sometimes within the next 6 months, to vote for the emergence of members who will contest positions in the National Working Committee. So once all of these are done, then the Labour Party will have fully put in place the new structures ahead of the 2026 general election. We also have a mandate from the terms of settlement that empower us to mobilize a minimum of 10 million Nigerians into the Labour Party fold. So all of those solutions I talked about are going to be reactivated probably very soon because the leadership is commencing activities in full swing from next week. So to begin the mobilization ahead to prepare us for 2027. So I think I will to stop now so that you can ask other questions. God bless you.
I need to proceed from there. It's so good that you talked about the issue of structure. One of the things that a lot of people said in 2023 is that the Labour Party was not going to see the light of the day because they don't have structure. Some persons even went as far as calling it a social media party. And now you're talking of building a structure for the Labour Party. Is it the lack of structure that brought Labour Party to where it is today as it has to do with the crisis?
Unfortunately, Labour Party had a misfortune of having somebody who had no capacity in the office of the national chairman. You will recall that Julius Abure was elected as national secretary, and there are no provisions in the Labour Party constitution that permitted Julius Abure to occupy the office of the national chairman, either in acting or substantive capacity. So this is the misfortune that befell the Labour Party. So it had nothing to do with structures. Like I said, the Labour Party has the most expansive structures in Nigeria politically. Politically, because the Labour Party was registered by the Nigeria Labour Congress. For those of us, or for Nigerians who are aware, the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress structures cut across the 774 local governments in Nigeria because the Labour centers, the NLC and the TUC, they have what we call the trade unions. So the trade unions oversee to the labor activities of workers nationwide, cutting across the 774 local government, 36 states, the FCT. So what I presuppose is to say the most extensive and expansive political structure is within the labor movement fold, which is under the banners of the Nigerian workers. So this is a deliberate policy. So, and because of the party structure, constitutional structures across the state, the local government and the world, it doubled the existing labor movement structure. So that's why in 2022-23, I began to tell the world that the Labour Party was the most composed political organization in Nigeria by reason of this affiliation with the labor movement and the trade unions and its membership and structures nationwide. Myself, I'm a labor leader. We need to know this. I am the National Organizing Secretary of the Academic Staff Union of Research Institutions in Nigeria over the last 13 to 14 years to date. I am with the Academic Staff Union of Research Institutions. It's an affiliate of the Nigeria Labour Congress. So, and there are so many of them across the country. So basically, the problem Labour Party had nothing to do with structures, but everything to do with capacity. So The misfortune was Abure had no capacity. Even though some of us who had the experience of what needed to be done that we did, you saw what happened. Abure had to go the extra mile to pronounce illegal suspension against me, all for the sole purpose to destroy the efforts of the Labour Party. It has become evident today for the world to see the character in Julius Abure. So this was the challenge. So, but that has been corrected right now because Abure tenure expired. Our legal tenure expired 8th of June 2024. And the National Executive Council of the party on the 4th of September 2024 appointed Senator Nnamdi Usman as acting national chairman and Dalitu Wokocha as acting secretary to oversee the transition over a 6-month tenure. But they couldn't take over because there was a subsisting matter in court. The matter was prejudice. So until the Supreme Court only recently, on the 4th of April 2025, dismissed the two earlier judgments, Federal High Court and Appeal Court judgment that gave Abure that leadership, which they were not supposed to, for want of jurisdiction, because the leadership and the management issues of political parties in Nigeria are not justiciable. So, and however, the court upheld the appeal filed by Senator Nnamdi Usman as chairman and Wokocha as a secretary. So this is where we are today. So the point I've made with this is to say, God willing, from next week, the leadership of the party had a press conference last Wednesday, 8th of April 2025. So, God willing, from early next week, we are taking over the National Secretariat of the party by reason of the Supreme Court judgment and the expiration of tenure of Abure. You are aware that Abure has consistently constituted himself into a nuisance in the entire nation. So, these are the issues, and I think they have been dealt with. So Abure is a flawed member of the party. He destroyed the fortune of the party in 2023. You may be aware, I was a senatorial candidate for Edo North. Abure had to ensure that he defamed me in order to create an advantage for the APC and the PDP in that election in Edo North. So these are some of the issues personally I had to contend with against my office as national, against my political aspiration as a senatorial candidate for Edo North. All of those were thrown away because of Julius Abure. The same Abure's attitude led to why Peter Obi could not reclaim his mandate, because Abure could not account for the results of the election, the 2023 general elections, presidential election particularly. He couldn't provide the form. Neither did Abure have any results to show that we actually won, even though we knew we won. So the solutions we have developed were the only measures by which we are going to ascertain, even if we went to the court. You are aware that the Supreme Court, the judgment, Presidential Election Petition Tribunal judgment had to fine Labour Party, was it about 40 million naira for distracting the court for want of evidence. So you don't go to a tribunal without evidence. So Abure went to a tribunal without evidence. Abure conducted an election nationwide without proofs of what transpired at the level of the polling units. So all of those are things the party has learned from. Like I said, we are still here. Needless to say too much on that, we have designed and developed structures that are sustainable. So we are here to further entrench those possibilities, so that Nigerians can begin to have hope once again as we prepare for a free, fair, and credible elections 2027 with serious grassroots mobilization. And thank you again for this opportunity.
Let me come to you now, comrade. You've spoken very well, but now let's look at the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, in the person of His Excellency Peter Obi. Now, a lot of Nigerians, the support is not even everyone in Nigeria saw the support. But now with what is going on in the party right now, a lot of Nigerians are feeling disappointed and discouraged. Is there anything the party is doing, especially the presidential candidates and the stakeholders, to restore the belief and the trust of the people as against 2027? Because a lot of politicking, it's going on the ground, even though some persons will tell you 2027 is still like 2 years ahead. Well,
thank you. First and foremost, His Excellency Peter Obi acknowledged in the last NEC meeting on the 9th of April 2025 in Transcorp in Abuja, where the NEC further ratified the earlier appointment to confirm Senator Nenadi Usman as chairman, Daipo Okocha as secretary, and the other 29 members which were appointed to lead the transition. Mr. Peter Obi evidently is a key member of the party, is the party leader, national leader. He made it clear that he acknowledged the fact that there were a lot of mistakes made by leadership of the party in 2023, and that the party and its leadership have learned from those errors, and that they will not repeat themselves. That is one. His Excellency Peter Obi also made it clear that he is a full-fledged member of the Labour Party, and that he is not decamping, neither is he leaving the Labour Party for any other party. That's 2. 3. He said, people asked him about the coalition. He made it clear that for now, the issue of coalition does not arise. He wants to join hands with the leadership of the party to entrench the party structure, to encourage the new leadership to conduct the processes, entrench the structures at the ward level, at the local government level, at the state level, then to prepare us effectively for 2027. But of course, the matter of coalition, yes, there is going to be a need for coalition, but certainly the Labour Party is not going to be subsumed into any other political party in Nigeria, because the only opposition party in Nigeria today is the Labour Party. But the problem we have had is the same thing I said earlier, which was Julius Abure. But the good news now is Abure's shenanigans are now over. His tenure expired. He was subsequently sacked by the Supreme Court judgment that dismissed the Federal High Court and the Appeal Court judgment that granted him those judgments that they were not supposed to. So that's why I said Abure is a flawed member of the Labour Party. And Senator, mind you, Senator Nenadi Esther Usman has been many things on the political front in Nigeria. He has been a member of House of Representatives. She has been a senator. She has been a minister of finance of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So herein is a woman with enough experience, political experience, enough capacity, enough administrative prowess. So these are the caliber of people the Labour Party desires and deserve to administer this party. So we are fortunate. I can say this authoritatively, not minding how long she has been in the saddle, even within those periods that the matters for litigation were in court. But I can tell you authoritatively on this phone to the world to say, therein is a woman who has what it takes in administration and leadership to lead the Labour Party to victory from now to 2027 and beyond. So we are solidly with her, and she's very committed to the ideas of the Labour Party and to the good governance of this country. So for His Excellency Peter Obi is fully committed. So there are no better words to use more than what himself said. He remains in the party, is committed to the ideas of the party. He would ensure that going forward, some of the mistakes which we now found out later will not repeat itself. That the Labour Party is going to prepare itself effectively in terms of mobilization and coordination ahead of 2027. So it's an aspirant in the making, like we said. It's going to be a democratic process. So we are hoping and believing, of course, it's still going to emerge, notwithstanding that so many other persons are going to come to aspire. But the leadership of the party in that convention to come in 2027 will eventually decide the eventual flag bearer, for which, of course, himself has the right of first refusal in the party, considering his input into the party and the mass followership which the Labour Party has enjoyed because of his presence. So, and I can assure you that as the party prepares itself further, the followership is going to be more massive than before, because this time around, all that appear to be distractions for the party have been done away with now. Abure and his two odds. They have criminal matters to attend to. Remember, like we say, they were indicted for perjury, forgery, and criminal conspiracy. There has been an authorization for a prosecution by the Inspector General of Police to the Attorney General of Federation and Minister of Justice for their prosecution in court. So this is the extent to which these characters, dealt with the party. But the good news is the reservation. So we got on our side. Nigerians will be rest assured that going forward, the Labour Party will take its pride of place and build his followership base more than it did before. So Peter Obi is committed, is with us, we are with him. So Nigerians will support us when we come calling. So this will be our appeal in the days ahead. God bless you.
Comrade, there is something I really want to put straight right here. Not just the Labour Party alone, but other parties too, and that's the issue of defection. The former campaign manager of His Excellency Peter Obi, talking of Obaze, also defected because of the political unrest. And Labour Party is one party that have made people who don't even have political background to win election in 2023. We heard from some states where even Okada riders had to win an election, all right, through this Labour Party. Now as it is, a lot of youths are defecting, card-carrying members are defecting. So good, you are a former national youth leader. You should be able to talk about that, on how to ensure these things doesn't happen again. Some have defected from the Labour Party already, and some are still warming up to do so. Now, what is going to be your word of advice to people who are already nurturing the idea to move from the Labour Party, looking at the situation on ground? You know, what a lot of people do, a lot of politicians feel they want to be where their aspirations can actually be achieved, nurtured and achieved. What would you have to say to people who are having the notion, or maybe nurturing it within them, to defect to other parties from the Labour Party, including youths? You know the role of youths as far as political party and electioneering and politicking is concerned.
Well, thank you. Recently, we have witnessed the deal of defection, mostly from other political parties to the APC emphatically. Again, the Labour Party was hit also by this deal of defection. We've had few of our representatives who have left us for the APC, but that was because of Abure's disposition. So, this is the crux of the matter. Abure deliberately foisted crisis in the party that encouraged people to defect. But with the restoration of order in the party, with effect from 4th of April 2025, you'll be rest assured that even those who defected and left the party will have cause to return to the party. Because there is stability now as we speak, right now. So, a lot of our members are going to... Now, concerning youth mobilization, the Labour Party is the darling of the political party in Nigeria. There is no other party in Nigeria that attracts young Nigerians other than the Labour Party. This is the obvious reality in Nigeria. That is why earlier I said, even the 2023 presidential election, the party won, but the party could not account for victory because of the leadership style of Julius Abure. Even though people like myself, under my leadership as the national leader, provided the solution and the approach to sustain the victory. And Abure got pissed because of that strategy and how to do what he did against me. So, but needed to cry over spilled milk. In the days ahead, I just read out the approach, the activities of the leadership that will be coming up, the congresses. And during these congresses, young Nigerians will be encouraged to vie into elective positions in the party and become party stakeholders. So imagine an average of 15 to 18 persons per ward across 8,850 political wards in Nigeria. Replicated that number across several local governments, 36 states, FCT, NWC, the NEC and the DOT, as the structure of the party, structurally. Now remember I told you about the aspect of the Nigeria Labour Congress structures that cut across the entire country. So all these are structural composition that the Labour Party is going to take advantage of. And for those young Nigerians that desire to be within the system, them and to continue to support us, I mean, we have the opportunity. So there's enough room for everybody to play in going forward. There's going to be a lot of peace this time around, a lot of harmony. So they say once beaten, twice shy. So we have been beaten once and we are twice shy now. So we lost a victory purportedly that we won. So you can imagine how shy we are. So we'll be more determined to do things more appropriately. And also, like I said, because of the nature of the leadership that we now have. So we have leadership with capacity. People like us are still on ground to continue in our own roles and to build others to learn from the little we know so that together we can sustain the entire process ahead of 2027. So the goal of defections will cease. More people will come into the Labour Party for what I know, but only time will tell. So these are the prospects ahead of us. God bless you.
Comrade, for joining us on the program today. Well, it's been a very nice time. I wish we have enough time so we could talk about the coalition, because there are a lot of speculations. Despite what the presidential candidate said, there are still a lot of speculations. Many thanks, Comrade, for joining us on the desk today.
It's my pleasure always. I appreciate you, Global Television. Comrade Iragbe Aslem, immediate past National Youth Leader of Labour Party in Nigeria, on behalf of National Leadership. Senator Esther Ninadi Usman, National Chairman, Senator Dalitu Wokucha, National Secretary. God bless you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. That's the voice of Comrade Iragbe Aslem, the immediate past National Youth Leader of the Labour Party in Nigeria. Well, we've been able to look at the powers that be in the Labour Party, why the problem in Labour Party, whether or not Labour Party is fit for 2027. All of these have been discussed on the program, and the issue of people defecting, whether or not we are still going to have more people defecting. But the capacity leader said, well, we will rather have people returning back to the Labour Party. Well, we just keep our fingers crossed and see how all of that is going to go. Not the defection. Remember, it's not just in the Labour Party, but also in the People's Democratic Party. It is mass exodus for some persons. But then, you can't say, the crisis, will it be over before 2027? The people who are perpetrating or maybe fronting themselves as a result of not being satisfied with the activities of certain political parties, will they come to terms with the party before 2027? All of these are questions. In the hearts of Nigerians, all of these questions will be answered one day. And that's going to be the size of the desk this wonderful Friday. Well, we will come on your way again, and that's going to be on Monday for another edition where we'll look at other issues. Remember, the desk cut across all both news, current affairs, politics, entertainment, and every other human angle issues. So just keep your fingers crossed and keep watching Global Television on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes 276. And you can also download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app on your Android and iOS devices to keep track of all our broadcasts from any part of the world. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Many thanks for staying with us on the decks today, and have a beautiful evening. Bye-bye for now.